Hello, my beautiful earth signs. My name is Dawn. You're listening to Dawn Williams Tarot. Today, I am going to be conducting a reading for you for the signs of Virgo, Taurus, and Capricorn. So you have placements in your sun, moon, or rising sign. These messages may be for you. However, I am going to do this reading a little differently. I've already pulled all the cards. I've laid them face down. I'm going to read those messages for you. I do have our clarifiers for each. And then I have a final message from the Indigo Goddess to wrap up our reading at the very end. Okay? So if you're new to my channel, would absolutely love it if you would like and subscribe. Please share as well if you feel that this may be helpful to people that you know and love. And I will be doing, I've just completed the air signs, which I have posted. I'm doing earth now. I will be doing water and fire tomorrow. Okay, today is February the 1st, 2024. And this really is a timeless message because this is more along a spiritual type of a reading than a day-to-day message for what's coming, at you. So I'm going to take myself off screen. We can focus on the cards themselves. As you know, as an earth sign, we are all about the material wealth, our material wealth manifestations in the world of form. The question that I'm asking and that I'm posing that I got from my higher self was, what are you currently struggling with on your spiritual path? So that's what the message is. And then we're going to see what spirit wants each of the signs to know. As an earth sign, I am an earth sign as well. I'm Taurus. Everything that we think, feel, and believe, we create eventually through manifestation. And how do we steward our creations in the world of form, producing material results? So if relationships or finances or our current situations are not what we had hoped, we have to be honest with ourselves, right? And admit we co-created them. And that's a big nugget to swallow, especially if you have, a number of things that are stumbling blocks on your path. It's hard to believe that you would create them, but as a soul in a body, you absolutely do. Those are part of your lessons. And you will continue to create those lessons until you learn them, right? So we can use the co-creative power to start bringing about different experiences in our lives if we choose. And that's one of the things about us manifestors. We are very much about our physical security, our wealth, our health, our careers, our possessions, and our home life. So we really do, we're strongly present in the manifest world. So on this planet, we are the ones that are the co-creators, right? So I consider myself a co-creator. Okay, so what I did was this top card right here, which is the Queen of Pentacles. How funny, because the Queen of Pentacles, that's our sign, right? That our pentacles are us. Now, typically this Queen, this is going to be the anchor for each of the signs, okay? Now, typically this Queen is self-made. She is a healer. She has amazing gifts and abilities. However, in the situation of where we are getting stuck along our spiritual path, it could very well be that we're spending so much time in creating our physical security and our wealth that we're not balancing out with our spiritual practices, whatever that means for you. There could be financial stresses. I mean, this is a really difficult time right now. The economy is going pretty crazy, especially if you live in the United States. There are definite signs and signals along the way that we do need to focus on those areas. However, we also need to balance, right? So that's kind of what she's saying. If you look at her, she has her eyes closed. She is in meditation, She is a natural healer, as are all of us. All of us earth signs, we're natural healers. But the other thing is she has, in this situation, we're asking about your spiritual path. You may be overextending your energy to others, meaning that you keep giving, giving, giving. I know that is a trait that I typically do, is I will keep giving, giving, giving to my own detriment. So we need a better work life balance, or a work home spiritual balance. So that's kind of the message that she is bringing to us really at this time. She is the feminine energy. I do feel as though the earth signs are more along the lines of feminine. If you're a male, though, I don't want you to feel as though you're being diminished or that you are not important. You absolutely are. Keep in mind, we have male, masculine, and feminine energy within all of us. And it just depends on what it is that you're focusing your attention on as to what energy is brought up. Now, she is our queen right here. So for her to be here, she is bringing us this message of you can't heal the world unless you are healed yourself, right? So you have to do the work. Okay, so we're starting off with Virgo. Virgo, your first card is the Four of Wands. Now, typically, this is a card of celebrations. It feels as though you are on your right path, but what may be a block for you is maybe you're feeling disconnected, or perhaps you're feeling like you're getting too caught up in your day-to-day, right? That you don't have the right work-life balance, as we were talking about regarding this queen. So let's get some more clarifiers as to what this Four of Wands represents for you. And your first card is the World card. Now, this is a beautiful card. However, what this card may be saying is, in order for you to take your next big spiritual step, there are still some things you need to work through. One of them may be that you need a closure for something. Now, maybe you are working in your shadow, working on your wounded child issues, or perhaps you're working through some, personal addictions that you may have, or maybe you are working through, dark night of the soul stuff. Maybe you have abandonment issues. All these things you have to come to terms with, right? So this card is pretty much saying that you could, you just need to continue following through, keep working through those areas for yourself. And I think that you are going to have the completion that you're looking for. Stay focused and realize that bliss and happiness is a choice. You can choose those things for yourself. This is a major arcana, so this is actually a really good card. Oh, and then you have the Queen of Wands. What I love about the Queen of Wands is she stands in her own power. She does not give up her sovereignty for others. Whereas the Queen of Pentacles, not that she gives up her sovereignty, but she will give and give and give of her energy if she feels as though it is helpful to others. And yet at the same time, what she's doing is she's diminishing her own cup, right? She's giving out all of her energy. So this queen right here is not afraid to take a risk. It could be that you need to build some self-confidence in order to let go of what other people may think of you. She is definitely standing in her own power. She has this black cat here. Now you have to realize that the tarot cards were created in the 14th century or 15th century, I guess you would say, in 14 something. And back then, black cats were considered really bad omens, and this queen is saying, I don't care if you consider a black cat a bad omen. This cat is is part of my family, and I love this cat, right? So basically what she's saying is she isn't conforming to anybody else's idea as to how she should live her spiritual life. And that's kind of the message that I think Spirit is sharing with you. Past failures or attempts do not define you. So even if you fall and stumble and you've gone off your path and you have allowed other things to take you away from where you feel you should be, Forgive yourself, pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and just keep moving forward. Every time you make progression, connecting with your higher self, asking your guides for assistance, talking to the God of your heart, all of those things help open up those channels for you. Okay, Virgo? Taurus, my beautiful Tauruses, which I am one. Oh, we have the Fool card. Now, the Fool card is the very first card in the deck. And if you look at her, she's willing to just flip herself right off this edge and go right into the abyss. So she is she's not afraid. She's trusting. She's very trusting in her process. So it could be that you might be feeling as though you have all the answers. You know exactly what, you're supposed to do and how you're supposed to do it. And you just trudge ahead. But that's coming from a little bit more of your ego side than your knowing side. You have to kind of keep your spiritual self and your ego self in balance as well, right? That's an important thing for us to focus on also. And then the other thing is we might be having a little bit of analysis paralysis. Maybe we're looking at, well, how do I make this connection? And you don't have to make any of the practices that you do. They do not have to be difficult. You just have to be consistent. If you make the decision that you really want to make connections with your higher self, then give yourself 10, 15, 20 minutes a day. Carve that time into your life and make it happen for yourself. And then the last thing about this card is it's really saying we need to trust our intuition a lot more than what we do. We have a tendency to doubt ourselves. Now, I am guilty of that as well. I started this whole round of readings yesterday, and I did 2 videos, and I ended up tossing both of them because I just didn't feel comfortable with the messages that were shared. And so I felt like, no, I need it to be a lot more uplifting. I don't want to be tearing, anybody down. So I was doubting myself, really. And today I just decided, you know what? I'm just going to let my higher self, my spirit, just go with what is here. I'm not going to look at the cards until we flip them over and I see them. So I'm building my confidence myself. So you don't have to feel alone with that, Taurus. Oh, talk about a smack in the face. The 5 of Wands is a card of conflict, typically, but it's also a card of training. In this situation, I feel that this is self-imposed limitations. I think of anything that we do to ourselves, right, Taurus, is we will limit ourselves in our own beliefs, or we will think that we can't do something when we absolutely can do it. It's just we got to commit, get off our butts and do it. Stop thinking and take the action, right? So the wands are about taking action, moving forward, feeling inspired. And then the other thing this card represents is, we also have that feeling, for some of us, not every one of us, but some of us may be having that feeling of needing to be right, or our personal feelings can be the thing that is hindering us. Because we're looking for perfection, and in honesty, we are not perfect. We're not perfect beings. We're here to experience life. We're souls experience life on this 3D plane. So keep that in mind. Maybe you need to reevaluate or take a step back if you need to kind of look at where you may be feeling the conflict. Is the conflict where you have your set of goals, your set of ideas, and then as you try to share that, other people are not receptive? Or is it a thing where you're not being heard, so you shut down, right? Those are real things that can happen. So you got to just recognize and realize that everyone is entitled to their way of thinking. There is nothing we can absolutely do to change another person's mind if they're not open to the message. And, and that's kind of what this is about. Don't kill the messenger, right? Don't shoot the messenger, because really what my job is, what I feel my spiritual job is to be a lighthouse, but also to plant seeds, just to create dialogue so people can think about these things. And then we have, oh, the Ace of Pentacles. Isn't this fun? The Ace of Pentacles is a gift on our physical security realm. But this is this card, I think, is about creating a strong foundation. This is our first stone, so to speak, our first block from spirit, saying if you don't have a strong foundation in your spiritual practices, now is the time to build one. You need to prioritize. And it's also time to visualize, attract, prioritize, and then act upon whatever it is that your higher self, your soul tells you is the direction you need to go. Okay? I think that's a great message, Taurus. Okay, Capricorn. What do we got, Capricorn? Oh, the Five of Swords. So that's the monkey brain. So fives are about changes coming in. The swords are about the way that we think about things. In this situation, I feel as though, there might be an unexpected loss that you may be mourning. Maybe you've got something going on personally that is disrupting your commitment to your higher self or your commitment to your soul path. Or it could be because of something that is happening that is bringing you this sadness or this feeling of discontent. It could be also asking you to sit down and work through some of that energy with your higher self. Maybe a good practice would be to journal, or don't be afraid of fear. The lessons that you're learning are the lessons that are going to move you ahead, and it will move you ahead always, always, once you master some of those things, okay? So let's get some clarity about what direction this Five of Swords is taking us. And the first card is the Two of Cups. Now, typically, the Two of Cups for me in spiritual readings always represent connecting with your higher self. That is the most important step. How do you do that? Well, you go into meditation, or you just put it out there. You start talking to your higher self. Just start verbalizing, and then start asking for signs that you're being heard. Now, you could say, as I am connecting with my higher self, please bring me pennies. And if I see a penny on the ground or a penny somewhere other than, you looking specifically in your pocketbook or your wallet or whatever for it, if it comes to you synchronicity wise, then that will be your clue, your connection. But make that whatever makes the most sense for you. Some people use feathers, some people use coins, some people use rocks, some people, you can use just about anything that means something to you. Just, so that you can just pose that question to your higher self. If you're listening, I would like a sign. And then watch for the signs, because I know they will give them to you. The other thing about the Two of Cups is there is a energy here of feeling lost or potentially alone. Maybe you feel as though you can't talk about these deeper things with other people, that they're going to judge you, or they're going to misunderstand you, or they're going to think that you're weird, or whatever it is that perception may be. But the other part is you also have to be willing to share what is valuable to you with others. Don't be afraid to share your truth. I think part of what this queen is also saying, stand in your truth. And even though the Virgos got this Queen of Wands, I think we can all learn from the Queen of Wands, right? We can all stand in our sovereignty. And it all has to do with the way that we deliver our message. Are we delivering a message from a place of love? Is our intention filled with love? I think that if you do that and you just plant seeds and you just allow and accept a person's progress, I think that you will be surprised at how beautiful the connection is. And once you make this connection with your higher self and you start working with that energy, Capricorn, you're going to be surprised at how quickly your manifestations of things materialize for you. Your last card is the Six of Swords. Now, the Six of Swords is typically a card of moving from choppy to calmer waters. But as this, we're looking at the things that are preventing us from really stepping onto our spiritual path. I would say this card is maybe you're having difficulty asking for help. I know that there have been times in my life where I would never have asked for help from anyone because I didn't want to be disappointed. I didn't want them to do something for me and have it be a half-assed job. So I thought, oh, if I want anything done right, I have to do it myself. And, you know, I just wanted to make sure that it got done the way I wanted it done. So that can be a block, right? Because you're not allowing the person to have their full expression. Now, they might not complete something the way that you would like, and that's fine, because then you can teach them maybe an easier way to do things, right? Or a way that makes more sense, but not coming from a place of superiority, coming from a place of equality, right? And then the last thing I feel like this could be that you're carrying baggage from your past, because the story behind this card is she's leaving everything behind because she's had a lot of difficulties. And this guy is coming in and is helping her. He's taking her to where she wants to go. So this is kind of like help from an unknown source or an outside source that you weren't expecting, is kind of this energy. And then the other part of this is there may be some resistance to change the way that you currently are. Maybe you're hanging on to old versions of yourself. So I guess what we could do is we could ask all the signs, Virgo, Taurus, and Capricorn, what old chapter in your life needs to close in order for you to move forward? And only you can identify that for yourself, okay? Overall, this looks really good. I am going to bring myself back online so that you can see me, and then we're going to pull this last card, which is going to conclude our reading for today. If you've made it this far, I'd absolutely love if you'd like and subscribe. And if you're returning, please like. Thank you. Okay, so our card is the cosmic cycle. Let me get my glasses on. Is the karmic cycle. Wheels are turning. I feel that's absolutely true. The karmic wheel is constantly turning. And we have opportunities through that movement to make improvements as we go along, right? So it's saying that there's good luck coming in. It is championing us to take some risks. So it's just saying that we're moving through another phase in our spiritual journey. Look up, right? Give gratitude. Be thankful for the things that you do have. Be thankful for the communication that you have with your higher self. And then the last thing is talking about is a cash flow. Now, cash flow to an earth sign is very positive. We love a good cash flow. So I'm hoping that this is a gift from Spirit saying, you know, you do your work and things are going to be flowing for us in a very positive way. And I really do feel that that is an absolute truth. So I hope this has been helpful to you. I'd love to hear your feedback as to whether or not you enjoyed this type of a reading, if it resonated with you. And until next time, take very good care of you. And remember to ground your body. Cheers.